Well, thank you all for your questions you've been sending in, and this has been a really good week. Started off the week in Chesapeake at the Why Not Pizza facility in Chesapeake, and a lot of good questions and conversations with people there. Then we had just a really great breakfast meeting at the Sunrise Cafe in Virginia Beach with veterans, and it's very important that we have a strong national defense, and with that also make sure we keep our promises that have been made to our veterans and their families. Then we had a really big, wonderful endorsement event at Chesapeake from the Sheriff, John Newhart, Colonel O'Sullivan, and the great Commonwealth's Attorney, Nancy Parr, in Chesapeake as well. And that was a good event, a wonderful endorsement from a lot of great dedicated people who make sure that Chesapeake is a safe community for people to live, learn, work, invest, and raise their families, and a lot of other meetings in the Chesapeake, Virginia Beach area, and also attended a funeral for a very good friend who passed away, Wayne McCleskey, in Virginia Beach. And at any rate, let's get to our questions. You hear from various folks all over Virginia. Donna from Lynchburg has asked this question. I'm in the fuel oil and HVAC industry, and with prices being so high, it's very hard for us as a small business to operate. What can we do to lower the cost of fuel, gasoline, home heating, etc.? If we could get these prices down, the consumer would have more money in their pocket and would spend it elsewhere, such as repairs to their homes, maybe buy a new car, spend more money in their own local economy. Well, Donna, you're exactly correct in this assessment, and energy obviously, and the price thereof affects everyone in our entire economy. Everything that we consume is brought either by rail or ship or by truck ultimately, and the fuel prices matter to the farmers, to everything that we consume. And the reality is what we can do, there's a lot of good things we can do. And first and foremost, recognize that America is #1 in the world when it comes to energy resources. We have plentiful reserves of coal, we're finding more natural gas from shale, and we also have oil. And unfortunately, the federal government is shutting it down. We in Virginia, for example, coal is under attack by these unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats in Washington trying to put forward these cap and trade energy tax schemes that would cause not only a loss of jobs, but skyrocketing electricity costs. We also have a government in Washington that is continually saying no to us in Virginia, and for many years I've been advocating allowing us, and this is the will of most Virginians, to be able to produce oil and natural gas off our coast in Virginia. If you all hire me on to be your senator and your voice in Washington, I'm going to introduce a bill to allow Virginia to explore off our coast on the very first day I'm in office, and share 37.5% of the royalties with Virginia, which would be used for roads and transportation. The point is if we were utilizing our own energy resources here in America, the prices would be much more affordable for diesel, for gasoline, for electricity. Hundreds of thousands of jobs would be created, good paying jobs, and we'd be keeping our money here in the United States of America rather than being vulnerable to outside forces as we are right now for the worries and concerns about the Straits of Hormuz and so forth. So the point is we can control our own energy destiny here in America. We must do it instead of these punishing, counterproductive approaches that have been advocated and put into place by not just EPA, but the Obama administration and supported by my opponent, Tim Kaine. So the good news is there are solutions, and I thank you, Donna, for your question. Okay, next question is from Ralph in Lake Ridge, Virginia. He says to me, I'm intrigued by your proposal for a paycheck penalty for Congress when they don't pass appropriations bills on time. How will that resolve the problems? Well, Ralph, thank you for your question on this issue. The Congress goes into session every year in January. They're supposed to pass appropriations bills by the October 1st, the beginning of the fiscal year. And what we're seeing year after year is that they don't get it done on time, and it's gotten much worse than ever in recent years, where they pass a continuing resolution past Thanksgiving, past Christmas, it goes into the new year, and with all of that, there's uncertainty, For small contractors, if they have a government contract, they're either having to pay their employees without being reimbursed or have people sitting around doing nothing, which again, for small businesses, they need their employees to be productive. This is no way to operate a government. So I think we need to get back to basics. And if members of Congress, all members, not just those on committees, but every single member, if appropriations bills are not passed on time, you withhold the pay of the members of Congress. This is the way it is for contractors anywhere. If you don't get your job done on time, you don't get paid. And we need to get back to basics. How will that change things? I guarantee you, if this were the approach, appropriations bills would get done on time. And if they're not done on time, members wouldn't get paid. And I think this would really bring just a common sense discipline to the way that Congress operates. In fact, the way they're operating now is just abysmal. It's nearly 1,000 days since the Senate has passed a budget. You all, in your businesses, in your households, in the state governments, all adopt appropriations bills or budget bills or know what your finances are. And that's the way the federal government ought to operate. And I think this discipline would really bring a change in the way that Washington does business. Well, thank you all for your questions this week. I look forward to seeing many of you all on the trail ahead, and keep those questions coming. Appreciate it a lot.